Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I'm back. Welcome back to my channel. And when I'm back on the prowl, these brothers better have my money. I gotta give a Nikki shout out on my channel. Hi, everybody. I hope you had a beautiful New Year's or a beautiful holiday season, whatever you celebrate. It is now January 13th, 2023, and this year we have a lot in store, right? We're living our best life. We are taking care of our bodies, we're taking care of our minds, we're integrating beliefs that work for us, and we are not giving a fuck about what anybody thinks about it, the challenges, the circumstances that may be in the way. And if this is not your first time here on my channel, you know that my approach is being shameless as fuck with whatever it is that you are applying, because this is your life. You decide who you're going to be. You decide how you identify in the world. You decide the type of experiences that you want to have, the bank account that you want to have, the relationship that you want to have. It is all 100% within your control because you are the one creating your life. And we want to step into that role shamelessly. Okay, now there's two things that I want to talk about in this podcast. There are things that I've talked about on my channel before, but I think they just really hit home and they put things into a lot of perspective. So we are going to be talking about relationships. If you got a man, if you got a woman, your significant other, your special person, okay? But I want to bring up one thing really quickly, which I've been ranting about on Instagram, on Twitter, and that is, as you guys know, come on now, I'm like here every day preaching about you got to know your worth and your value, okay? And I'm going to be saying it every day until everybody is on board, because I think we live in a world, and I don't want to say this in a limiting way, but I think we live in a world that really undervalues and undermines people, right? And so to be confident with yourself or to know your worth and your value, some people might call you arrogant. Some people, the cockroaches, okay, might call you arrogant, might try and put you down. Oh, why do you think like that? Oh, you think you're so good. If you're one of those people, you can leave my channel, okay? But aside from that point, all right, you really, and I'm not saying this in the cliche way, you really, really need to be grounded in how amazing of a person you are, because there's a whole world out there that will try to project onto you, limit you, control you, and put you into a little teeny tiny box that isn't made for you, and it's just fucking bullshit, okay? So today I want to first start off talking about luxury items. How do luxury items have anything to do with a relationship? Let's talk about it, okay? So, and this goes whether you're a man or you're a woman. What I talk about on my channel applies to anybody, because we all have a brain. We all have to assume mindsets. We all have identities. So it doesn't matter how you identify in your gender, but who you identify as and the type of experiences you're going to have in this life, in my opinion, do matter. So with luxury items, okay, and this is not just like, the designer brands, I'm talking about cars, houses. It doesn't even have to be a designer item, just something that you see that you really like, that you admire, right? I want to know why in relationships, people have this idea that they have to chase, they have to try, they have to be inauthentic, they have to convince somebody to be with them. When you see something that you like, a luxury item or an item that you admire, or a house or a car, especially luxury items though, let's go from that scope, okay? Because I'm going to influence you. I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm going to influence you to be the top tier version of yourself that is really believing and seeing yourself as 100% a prize, okay? I'm not going to be doing it basic for you. So luxury items. When will you ever see a luxury item go on sale? And I know this, you guys. I used to work in retail. They don't go on sale. Do you see Gucci advertising on the TV? Do you see Lamborghini advertising on the TV? No. Why? Because they know that's not their market, right? And also, they realize that they don't have to advertise. The product speaks for itself. People admire it, and they will go out of their way paying large sums of money and upkeeping this product without the product constantly reminding it to, okay, or convincing it to. So you guys do this for anything in your life, right? You see a bag that you really like, or you see, I don't know, a home appliance that you really like, a car that you really like, right? Does the car remind you to take care of it? I mean, if you're not taking care of it, that check engine light's gonna pop on, right? But if it's something that you really cherish, you don't care about the price. You take care of it, and it doesn't convince you. So when are you going to start seeing yourself that way? And this is really where I want you to take a deep look at yourself and how you've been operating. It is going to become very disrespectful to yourself to chase after anything or anybody when you genuinely realize your worth. And if somebody is not treating you properly, instead of getting hooked up on what they're doing, you're going to know, oh, baby, like I'm in demand. Like if you fumble on this, like that's your loss. And I'm not going to convince you what you're doing is wrong. I don't need to remind you, right? So if you don't take care of your car, you know. If you put your brand new Kelly bag on the ground, right? You know, like, oh, I shouldn't be doing that, right? So you have the awareness of when you're doing something wrong. So why, when you're getting into a relationship, you think you need to do all of this stuff to get somebody's attention, to maintain it, to remind them that they can't treat you in that way? Don't you think that that may be a component as to why you're receiving that type of treatment, right? So like if Gucci or these luxury brands started putting up sales everywhere and was like, please buy our bag, please buy our bag, please buy our bag, please take care of me, please take, you'd be like, oh my God, this is nice, but it's fucking, okay, all right. Like, I'm going to use a different bag. I'm going to leave this one over in the closet for a little bit, okay? I talk about attraction and mindset on my channel, everybody. Being the best you, getting the treatment you deserve, not chasing it, but deciding and knowing it into being, which means you're going to need to look at how you're operating. Now, I'm not going to tell you to take complete ownership and accountability for all the things that are happening in your life in terms of if people are being shitty, okay? That's up for you, and that's the next topic that I'm going to talk about. You have to decide what you're willing to persist through, okay? But there has to be ownership and accountability for yourself. And if you don't see your worth and your value, and don't expect other people to see your worth and your value, and you're trying to remind them and you're chasing them, you really need to take a step back and look at how you are contributing to this dynamic and why. Why do I take more care of luxury items? Why am I so willing to pay these prices and idolize these things? And I'm not able to expect that type of treatment for myself. And if somebody's not giving me that, why am I viewing that like something is wrong with me? That's your question for today, okay? And I'm going to tell you right now, the answer does come down to your self-image and your self-concept, what you believe about yourself, what you believe about relationships, what you believe about men, what you believe about women. The truth is, everybody, the truth is, love doesn't cost anything. You don't have to ask for love. You don't have to make a fool out of yourself to get somebody's attention. You don't have to have the perfect punchline. You don't have to have the perfect approach. I've seen some, it's kind of funny. I've seen some guys giving dating advice online as to like how to talk to a woman, and they just say they're honestly hilarious, like pickup lines. And it's just so much. How about you just go up to somebody and say, hey, you're really cute. I like you. What's your name? How about you just be real, yourself? Or like, yeah, they're going to approach you. Oh, this cute guy is going to come over and talk to me. Why? Because I got it like that. Because I see myself. I know my worth and my value. Stop trying so hard, you guys. Okay? If you want to be that top tier version of yourself, you need to look at how top tier individuals are operating. They are not chasing, they're not putting on sales, they're not trying to convince. This is the deal. You can get with it or not. And if you don't want to get with it, somebody will. And I'm very confident in that because I know my worth and my value. And I know that is very evident based on how you see me, that the quality of who I am shows without me having to say it. That's also, in my opinion, very hot, right? We find confidence to be one of the most attractive things, and they go hand in hand with attraction. So the next thing I want to talk about, though, is deciding, okay? Let's say you do revalue yourself. You really see your worth and your value, okay? You also have to decide how people are going to show up for you. So there's two parts to this. You need to have a good belief system about yourself, but when you hear things online like the circumstances don't matter, persist, play the long game, okay? Which means you're not in it for short-term investments. You don't give a fuck about the challenges. You're not going to be intimidated easily, okay? When you are in that position, what deciding means is you are not going to play out any other story other than what it is that you want in your mind. You're not going to take into consideration variables. You are the deciding factor in your life. So if you want somebody to be with you, you need to decide that person totally wants me. They care about me. They're going to commit to me. I don't need to try and force or make that happen. But when I think about them, that is what I know. You're not going to convince me any otherwise. I don't care what I see. I'm not going to chase anything. I'm not going to be jealous, insecure, try and control, try and manipulate. I am so attractive and grounded in who I am. My beliefs are so strong that I know I'm going to get what I want. At the end of the day, I'm going to achieve it. That doesn't mean you're going to be a doormat. That doesn't mean you're going to wait. Okay? So if somebody's not committing to you and you're deciding this person's totally going to commit to me, don't be sitting here fully committing to them, feeling like crap, waiting for them to text you. I'm a high value individual that gets what I want. I can get what I want from you or anybody else. And if you're not showing up properly in my life right now, I can go do whatever I want to do. But I still have a desire and a want. My desire and my want is to end up with you. And I'm playing the long game here. So I can go date other people, hang out with other people, do whatever it is that I want. But I know when I think of you, you are fucking crazy for me. You can't get me off your brain. You love me. You're going to commit to me. And that's it. That's all I know. It needs to be this fine integration of genuinely assuming this version of yourself and deciding how things are going to unfold in your life. And if they're not showing up the way that you desire right now, don't get in your head about it. There's a million things that you can do today. Be the version of yourself that is fearlessly confident, that enjoys this present moment, that does whatever you want and still decides, yeah, maybe this isn't happening right now, but I know it's going to happen. And I know also, too, from a very logical standpoint, that chasing or trying to force this to happen or reacting or getting jealous or insecure, that's not attractive. So if I want to be with this person and they're playing a little bit hard to get, instead of being upset at the game, okay, you can't play with me because I already won type of mindset. You don't want commitment? That's so funny. Okay, you actually do want commitment, and I'm not going to chase you. I'm not going to blow up your phone. I'm not going to wait for shit. I'm going to go have the time of my life, knowing it looks good, knowing that you are watching me and wanting me. And I'm going to keep knowing that and continue to enjoy myself. And I'm going to have a giant smile on my face when you come around and say, yeah, I'm really sorry for saying I didn't want commitment, but I've been watching you. And do you have some free time? When can I meet up with you? Because what is attractive, ladies and gentlemen? It's not the trying. It's not the chasing. It's not the putting on the sale, undermining yourself. It's the not giving a fuck and deciding who you are, how people are going to show up in your life, and not letting anything tear you down or stop you from having a good day. Being completely unbothered. And really, I want to say, to end this little short podcast, how you do that is to be really grounded in yourself. When you really recognize your worth and your value, when you're really grounded in amazing beliefs about yourself, you realize that all of these things are complementary factors in your life. Your relationship, your job, your career, right? The school you're going to, your sport. You are not any of those things. Those are there for enjoyment, right? And when you're grounded in yourself, you don't need them. Wait, I'm solid. I'm amazing. I'm great. I can do anything today. I'm not going to be in my head beating myself up about these different areas of my life. I'm going to overcome that. And I know that. And I believe that because I trust myself, right? And I can enjoy these things without getting overly attached to them. When you are fully self-recognized and self-grounded in who you are, the need dissipates. And that's where you're really able to attract things, because it's like, well, I can still have a really amazing day. And we find, from a very, again, logical standpoint, we as humans want to be around people that are easy and fun to be around. So when you're being yourself, when you're not trying to be anybody but you, and you're living your best life, and you're deciding how things are going to unfold, and you don't need them to happen, and you can prioritize your time properly and focus your mind properly, things happen for you. When you aren't grounded in yourself, when you're needing, when you're chasing, when you're dwelling, when you're miserable, when you're obsessively waiting and thinking about it all the time, you're not recognizing yourself. And how is anybody going to recognize you or value you or give you the treatment you deserve when you're not doing that for yourself? So we're going to wrap that up here. It's not a trying process, you guys. You don't have to try to get what it is that you want. You really don't. You just have to be you. Everybody's trying to be like everybody else. Everybody is trying to use their accomplishments or their accolades to take them to the other side. And you know what makes you a standout? Because a lot of people have accomplishments. There's a lot of good-looking people here, okay? You know why I don't care about, in my relationship, how good-looking other people may be? Because they're not me, and I actually recognize myself. I don't have to try to be me. I don't have to compare myself. There's nobody like me. So why would I be worried about that? Why would I be intimidated about that? I'm the standout. In a world where everybody's trying to be everybody else and they're relying on all these external factors to take them to the other side, disregarding their personality and who they are, undermining themselves, which I don't, I'm going to convince all of those people too to not do that, because it's really amazing and it feels so good when you actually come into full self-recognition. There's a lot of power, there's a lot of freedom in being grounded in who you are and deciding how things are going to show up in your life and not needing it to show up, and still having an amazing fucking day regardless of the circumstances. Your internal state, your emotional state, your mental health is nobody's responsibility but your own. A relationship's not going to be the thing that makes you happy. That job's not going to be the thing that makes you happy. Moving's not going to be the thing that's going to make you happy. Yeah, it's really nice. Don't get me wrong. Okay. But sustained happiness and sustained results in your life come from self-regulated emotional stability and recognition. Loving yourself, accepting yourself, no longer comparing yourself. And when you do that, life becomes very good. So I hope you have a beautiful day. I'm going to be posting a lot of new content. I'm back. We're getting this year started. I'm so excited. Thank you, everybody that's here. I just received my silver play button in the mail. I was literally twerking over it yesterday. And I just love you all so much. Thank you for being here. I love this community. And I hope you gained something from this today. Okay? You have to be the person that recognizes your worth and value, and you have to be the person that decides how things are going to show up in your life. And you need to be confident in that. Not forcing it, confident. Okay? Have a beautiful day, night, life, whatever it is, and I'll see you all later.